Hello everybody, welcome. This is Melrose Abbey in the beautiful Scottish borders. My name's Andrew. Welcome everybody. So I tried my first live YouTube video yesterday and it seemed to work fine, but unfortunately I accidentally deleted it. So this is officially, shall we say, the first YouTube live video I'm doing. And we're at the wonderful historic abbey in Melrose, 12th century abbey built by King David. And we'll have a little wander around and I'll tell you about some of the features of it and show you some of the most interesting parts of it, some of the old graves and the statues and so on. So, we'll see if anybody comes in live. That would be nice if somebody did that. A few people did yesterday, so we'll see. And we're looking kind of north at the moment. And if you have a look up there, you can see, if I zoom in, you can see where you can walk up to. There's actually a little platform, a set of steps and a railing all the way up there on the south face of the wall. So I see one person has joined, that's nice. I wonder who it is. Can't find out until they say anything. And we'll walk in and kind of through the abbey. It's Martin. Hello Martin, how are you? And Bob. Welcome. It is majestic. Let me just show you a little bit of the graveyard. Most of these graves are comparatively modern. They'll be 18th, 19th, 20th century, some of them. But there will certainly have been people buried here for a very long time. Some very important people buried here. So we'll walk through. I think we're just about the only people here actually today. So don't forget, you can subscribe to my channel and you'll see more stuff like this coming, I'm sure. Staying in yourself today, it's very grey and cloudy. Yeah, it is grey and cloudy here as well, as you can see, no doubt. A little bit of blue in the sky over there. Let's have a look at some of these graves, aren't we? Nicholas Medicani, Doctor it in Classe Britannorum Regia. MD, so that's 1859, is that? Hic requiat in pace, rest in peace. Interesting. All right. I need to brush up on my Latin a little bit, I think. Can you hear the birds chirping? It's a beautiful place to be. Just switch back and forth between Scope and YouTube. Yes. Well, I might do a Periscope. If you're watching on YouTube and you're new to me, I'm far more often found on Periscope using the name A9630, the same as I am here. So I'm far more used to using Periscope than YouTube. And I'm just trying YouTube just to see what it's like, really. And just to see how it goes. Not putting all my eggs in one basket. And seeing how it works out. Look at that beautiful tracery on that window. Isn't that amazing? Zoom in a little bit. There. Look at how ornate it is. It's like thorns on a rose bush. Seems to be running at a low frame rate. Yeah, so we're kind of just experimenting and I'm seeing what the picture quality is like, how much data it uses, how much battery it uses, that sort of thing. So we'll see how it gets on. You've got great quality. Okay. Okay, it does. I noticed yesterday the stabilization kind of disappears when we're up close, so that's not as good as periscope. But yeah, we'll see. A bit like a fast slideshow, dear. Hope it's better than that. I wonder what it'll be like watching non-live. Now you notice these little statues here, they're mostly beheaded. Beheaded probably, I would think, by Oliver Cromwell when he was desecrating the church. Let's walk in. It was a very kind of a sacrilegious thing to do, to behead the icons. Interesting, yes, it'll be interesting indeed. Picture's much sharper than yesterday. I wonder why. Try watching something else. Well, I don't know if that would help at all. Let's see. Often I lose signal a little bit down here when I'm on periscope. There's that window again. Gorgeous. And there as well. Amazing. So this was built 12th century through to about the 15th or 16th century. You can see high up there Peter and Paul. There. And there. Way up. Save my laptop, right? Thank you for keeping me up to date. Around this way. We'll go and see Robert the Bruce's heart. It's pretty spectacular, isn't it? It's pretty spectacular. Try on your VR headset. Ooh, yes, you can do things on YouTube that you can't do on periscope, can't you? You can see inside, just about. There's also the little museum over there, the commendator's house over that way through the gate. Might have a look at that. But down here is the plaque, at least, marking the burial place of Robert the Bruce's heart. You can see it there. I shan't tell you the story again, because I've told you the story many times, certainly on Periscope. The story of Robert the Bruce's heart and how he got taken to Spain by James Douglas and thrown at the enemy and brought back. I'll walk over here a little bit because we can get quite a good view from this bench. Something you can do on YouTube that Periscope doesn't allow, and that is doing, step back again a little bit so I can get the full thing in, is doing that, which is quite nice, isn't it? You get a nice effect, black and white effect, and various other ones, but that's possibly quite useful. Filters, yes. Quite a good idea, I think. Now we've got this drain here, slash latrine running underneath. Let's see what it says. Basement of the rear daughter or latrine block, it says there. Doesn't look particularly sanitary. That's what they used. The latrine pit flushed by the great drain which is exposed on the other side of the road. Yeah. But all of this stuff here outside the abbey, this is where all the monks and the abbots would live. Well, yeah, probably the abbots would live here, just outside the abbey. So you'd have the bakery and the sleeping quarters and everything else that a an abbey would need. So there, you can see how the abbey was, with a magnificent spire, probably, with the Eildon Hills behind. And here, all of this stuff here is, here you can see the foundations of all of these things here. So you've got a cloister right where we are, chapter house just there, a parlour over there, I think, novices' day room, dining hall, wash place, lay brothers' cloister, warming room, church, literally, so a church, obviously. This, technically, well, the whole thing, I guess, is the abbey, but this is really the church of the abbey. Church, Abbot's Hall, there behind us. So the road now runs here. Yes, Abbot's Hall, and the Commendator's house there, which is that building over there. Quite an impressive building. So this, if I flick you around, remember how to do that there. This whole complex, this abbey, it controlled a great deal of the land around the Scottish borders. The abbey was a very rich building. The abbot would be a very powerful man in the local area. He would have control of all of the production, the agriculture in the area. He would basically own all the sheep, or all of the farmers would have to pay kind of rent to the abbot, which made him very rich, very powerful. Simultaneously watching on your phone and MacBook, good stuff. So yeah, anybody who had some kind of ambition for themselves, if they didn't want to be a soldier, or if they had no particular skill, like a stonemason or a carpenter, or if they weren't a shepherd or whatever, they would almost certainly want to be a monk. And eventually, the abbot here at Melrose, or Kelso, or Jedburgh, or Dryborough, or Selkirk, or if you went further afield, you could be at St Andrews, somewhere like that. So being a monk here, or anywhere at a building like this, if you went down to Rievaulx, for example, down in England, you would become potentially a very powerful person. So this would have been a very busy, bustling, productive place back in the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th centuries, up to the time when Henry VIII came and sacked the place and destroyed it, or Oliver Cromwell's troops came here. Yeah, so this was one of the most important buildings in southern Scotland for hundreds of years. And you can see why it was so very impressive. Imagine you had never seen anything on this kind of scale before. Your normal life would be consisting of farmhouses, small one-room farmhouses, very small churches, and basically that's it. There was no other buildings, but then in the mid to late 1100s, this gigantic abbey sprung up. Well, I say sprung up, it would have taken decades to complete, because it was such a huge, enormous building. And remember, there was only the power of people and horses and oxen available to build this, and all the surrounding buildings as well. And it was actually still in use as a church into the 19th century. Revise your comment and picture quality, quite low resolution, so pixelation and low frame rate. Thank you. As I said, we're just kind of experimenting a little bit with YouTube, seeing how it goes, how it works out. And if you went, I'll tell you what, we'll go back in, we'll go around this way, and we'll have a look at some of the people who are buried within the abbey itself. And that, by the way, is a little entrance house. You've got to pay your however much it is to get in. It's not much, it's under a tenner, I think, to get in to Historic Scotland. But if you've got an Historic Scotland membership, like what I do, you get in for free to all of their properties. And after the first year, all of the properties in English Heritage as well, which is a really good deal. I think it's £50 for a year's membership, and well worth it. So yes, let's go up this way, and we'll have a look in here. And you get a lot of the big local families, the dukes and the lairds, will have been buried here. So, for example, sacred to the memory of Alexander Pringle of Whitebank. The Pringles, of course, are a very powerful family. Born at the year, it's just year now, 7th February 1701, etc., etc. Susanna Rutherford, Sir John Rutherford of that ilk and Edgerton. Married to Whitebank. We went to Whitebank Tower recently on Periscope. Saw that. 13th Laird of Whitebank, died 2003. Here interred the mortal remains of Alexander Pringle of Whitebank, born 1747. But here, much older. Look at these dates here. 1626, for example. Obit 15th, so died 15th of November, Anno Domini, in the year 1626. Obit Mayor, 1667, 1680. Then again, Whitebank. Alexander Pringle. So in, all very readable, good. Good, yeah. So in memoriam, Alexander Pringle, Whitebank, obit 25th of April, Anno Domini, 16 something. I've got a skull, and I'm not sure what that is, but that is sands of time there. Beneath are interred the mortal remains of Granville Sinclair. That's a good name, isn't it? Granville Sinclair, youngest son of Sir George Sinclair of Albaster, Bart in the county of Caithness, who was cut off in the first months of his school days at Selkirk, 3rd of May 1827, and died, oh look at that, 6 years old. Died only 6. Granville Sinclair. So it's good that it's readable. Look at this. Look at in there. Can't read it, unfortunately. Can't read the writing that's there. Sacred to the memory of Hugh Scott of Gala, born 1822, John Scott of Gala. He strove to do his duty. Henry Scott of Gala, Christopher Scott of Gala, died 1997 that is. But again, that looks really old. 1635, or is it 1660. 1660, 3rd of September. Sanctorum Tuvulum Cephas Violare Carelis Hunc Uvicunque Vident Tibus Ora Labent. Miss being able to give heart? Yes, I know what you mean. I kind of miss seeing them as well. You do miss them when they're not there. Again, a skull and crossbones. That's beautiful, that carving. Is Gal is just short for Galashiels. And there's no D, by the way. It's just LS. But yeah, the river Gala is the river that Galashiels is on. And the shields is, it comes from shielings, which are small huts, basically. So Galashiels means the shielings or huts beside the river Gala. Now if we go right up to the holiest part of the abbey, the high altar, this is where the kings and the really most important people are buried here at the high altar. The holiest of places, the place which is closest to heaven. So if you are extremely powerful, extremely rich, extremely important, like a king, like King Alexander, exactly, yes, Galashiels like that, then you would be buried here at the high altar in an abbey. Or, yeah, Robert the Bruce, as we saw, he wanted his heart buried here. The plaque is outside, it's just over there. You can see the plaque just down there where we were. But we're not really certain on, well, it's not public knowledge exactly where his heart was buried, but that's where the plaque is. If we go this way, we'll have a little read of the little interpretation board. All over Historic Scotland properties, you get bits of information here and there to tell you what happened in the place where you are. These piers in the vault overhead are of the parish church, 1618, early 15th century arches behind. So yeah, that has stood up there for 401 years. 401 years that roof has been standing, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, the royal connections. So Robert I, or Robert the Bruce, and Alexander II is the roof. There is a roof. There is indeed. Not all of it. There's a bit more roof up there. And up there. So yeah, but as I was saying, the abbey was sacked by Henry VIII and partly destroyed. So yeah, Alexander there, Alexander II, buried up there at the high altar. Yes, although Melrose was burned down with fiery flames in 1385. And it was David I who built it, one of the finest Scottish kings, David I. He built all the abbeys, and he was a real moderniser. We'll go this way. He was a very European king. He wanted, let's flick around again. He wanted Scotland to be a much more modern, much more cultural, better educated country. He wanted it to be a modern European country. Instead of just being stuck off up in the north of England, or above the north of England. He wanted Scotland to forge proper ties with France and Italy and Spain, and Germany and Netherlands, Holland. So he encouraged people to come here, craftsmen and scholars, and he encouraged the Scots to go abroad as well. They would be trained here and then they'd be sent off to the finest universities. So David was a very good king. He built these places. He built, I think he built Selkirk and Melrose and Dryborough and Jedburgh and Kelso as a way of improving the country, as a way of culturally enhancing the country. So he was a very, as I say, a very good king, a very positive, sensible man who forged strong European ties. And hopefully within the next few days or a couple of weeks, I'll go and show you the original EU supporter. May well have been. I want to show you in Edinburgh some of the, there's kind of an art, an exhibit, you might say, or an art thing that's happening at the moment in Edinburgh, all about love letters to Europe. And I'm sure that David would approve of that. So hopefully in the next few days, the next few weeks, I'll go and show you that at night. Which is quite impressive. Not been to see it, but I've seen pictures of it and it's quite impressive. So I'll do that either on, well, most likely I will do it on Periscope, but I may show it to you on YouTube as well. So if you're just joining, if you're just watching, hello, my name's Andrew. I am most often seen on Periscope, where I show you plenty of stuff like this, the culture and history of southern Scotland, and we play a few games and things like that. But I'm gradually doing more, or I'm going to be doing more on YouTube as well as on Periscope. I went to double tap the screen there because that's how you flick the camera around on Periscope, but it's the little button in the corner on YouTube. Yeah, so there you go. That is the beautiful, the spectacular, the wonderful Melrose Abbey. Now, apparently, if you're on YouTube and you want to get some followers, you've got to finish your tap. Why isn't it off? Yeah, I know. And no super arts as well, of course. When you get to the end of a video on YouTube, all the popular kids, they do a thing at the end, don't they? They say something like, "Hey, don't forget to watch all my other fantastic content on YouTube and tap onto that little button up there to subscribe." There's nothing there. I'm not pointing at anything, but apparently that's what they do. They point at a little button on the screen that lets you subscribe to. I don't know. I'm not used to YouTube. It's not my kind of thing. Hello, Maggie. Welcome. Subscribe however it is you do that. I don't know. Watch the other videos however you do that. I don't know. YouTube isn't exactly my thing yet. We'll see if I use it more, but yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, thank you for watching. I think the thumbnail, well, you can choose the thumbnail, can't you? But I think it's the beginning of the scope. You have to try to work out which direction to point. I think you need to point. Oh yes, don't forget to check out all the stuff down below. I've no idea what that means, but that's what they say as well. Have a look down there, they say. I don't know, but anyway, right. Thank you for watching. My pleasure, Martin. Thank you for watching, all of you. I'll have to remind myself how to, oh yes, it's the cross in the corner to finish. Right, thank you for watching. I will be doing my normal Periscope Agony Andrew this afternoon, 3 o'clock. I think we'll do that. So you can switch to Periscope, search for A9630 on Periscope, and you'll see me there doing lots more stuff. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in a while. Bye-bye. Oh, hang on, they're cross. Bye.